Hey guys, on here, I finally have a moment where I think I could sit down and check out the story trailer for Spider-Man 2 coming to PS5 that released over the weekend. This is a game that I do intend to play here on the channel, so if you're interested in that, make sure to stick around for all of that. I do have my playthrough of Miles Morales up. I streamed on Twitch the first game, the PS4 Spider-Man game, but I don't think any of that footage has survived, sadly. But I do have a review for the game up. I love what they've done with this. I think it's, in my opinion, at least the last one and subsequently Miles Morales as well, I think the combination of those two, because it's hard for me to really reconcile them being separate games. I think they are the best superhero comic book video game I've played, and that's coming from somebody who was that previous title I would have given to, you know, any of the Arkham games up until that point. I think they took a lot of the same ideas. Obviously, they were inspired by it, but I really do feel like they honed it in and refined it brilliantly, and also just made the world feel so much more alive. I can't wait to see what they do with this one, like up in the scale, the scope, you know, and just in general, you know, seeing what all they can add into this mix, especially considering we got the symbiote coming back around. Well, not back around, coming into play for the first time, as it's been teased persistently up until this point. And I did see a still. One of the things, because I think I saw somebody post about this before when the trailer came out. I guess we're going to be actually seeing Harry finally, which I kind of figured we would. He's kind of been a looming presence and something we've been building up for some time. Yeah, so I'm excited. Let's go ahead and see what this has in store for us. Here we go.
A lot's happened in the last 10 years. It's a miracle I'm even sitting here now. I got a second chance.
Yo.
And I'm gonna take advantage of that.
Right out of the gate.
But I need you with me, Pete. We're gonna heal the world.
That doesn't sound ominous at all.
Guys,
yo.
this is my best friend Harry.
Hey, good to meet you.
Good job, huh? Still gonna have time for...
I like the new character models, man. And I didn't like that face before, obviously, as most people didn't, but I don't know. It looks a little more matured now.
Hey, MJ, I have another name for you. Craven.
Yo.
He's here on some kind of hunt.
I know if you need me, I'm just a call away.
Lee, you don't know what you took from me.
All Miles talks about is how to be a better Spider-Man. How to help you.
What the hell's going on with Pete?
Help him.
Yo.
This was our dream. I'm not going to lose him.
We're going to heal the world.
Well, that cements it, man. Harry's Venom, which we all assumed up until this point. Interesting. What I can't wait to see how this unfolds. So the cure worked. Their experimentation with the symbiote on Harry to help him with his illness seems to have worked, but it as we would suspect, I would assume it has bonded to him in some way. Maybe a portion of it gets onto Peter. I, as well as many, have harped on the change from the original design character model for Peter and then the new one. But there's something about the new model here that looks a little more in place. There's some minor tweaks that they did to age up the model, because that was my problem. It was like, looks like they made Peter younger than he was meant to be, and it didn't match up with any of the other characters he was interacting with, and it was something that always kind of threw that off. And he looks a little more mature here, as he should be. Also like Miles' new model. MJ looks great. And this Harry, I can't wait to see more of him. And then just how Kraven fits into this puzzle and just the order of events between the introduction of the symbiote both into the world and to Peter and to Venom. Harry clearly being Venom because they both said the same line, you know, we're going to heal the world. Harry said that in the beginning and Venom says that at the end. But then again, I mean, the symbiote does take attributes from its host. That could be an imprint left over. So he's got the spider though, so it means that the symbiote, maybe the symbiote lands, I don't know, or escapes before they can necessarily complete it. So maybe the Kraven stuff is like the first half of the game, and then Harry shows up mid-game or whatever after Peter's already kind of wrestled with it, and then it makes its way back. That's the order of events I'm trying to figure out.
Because that's just kind of where I'm a little confused on the order of events. Because we saw the scene with Harry in that tube with a symbiote-like substance kind of encasing his and webbed up his body as he woke up in one of the previous scenes. And obviously they've talked about and referenced a black substance or whatever that they were experimenting with. So even before this game, the symbiote already exists here. But then we see that shot in this trailer, and maybe there's some bouncing around in time, but we see the shot of what appeared to be it loose and hostless. So was that how they discovered it, or is that something that happens in the interim? If it takes the emblem from Spider-Man like it does in the comics, that means it has to have left Harry, went to Peter, and then went back to Harry, unless like a portion of it escapes and bonds to Peter, and it's not like while Harry still has the primary substance of it encasing his being. See, it's like, I don't know. Or for all we know, like maybe it just mended his body and then they unbond him from it. Then it gets out and gets to Peter. And then eventually makes its way back to Harry. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just curious about that because for certain things to play out, I mean, they very well could just have the Venom when it takes form, just have the emblem, though there wouldn't be a story reason for that unless it bonds to Peter before Harry becomes Venom. We'll figure it out when it comes out. I don't want to know the whole story going into this. I just want to kind of parse out what we got. I like what we're seeing. I like the aesthetic. I love the visuals of it. It definitely does look like an improvement from the last one. And I can't wait to see how they've refined some of those elements and some of the new gameplay mechanics that get incorporated into this. Obviously, with the gliding, the air, it was like those air tunnels or whatever too that Miles was able to kind of manipulate. See how the traversal mechanics have been improved, and just the operation and the liveliness of the world. I hope that's been scaled up because that's one of the things I really enjoyed about the last one. Always a primo thing about these games that's the most important is that traversal and exploration element, because that's always the thing that I love going into these Spider-Man games for, is swinging through the city, traversing the buildings, the alleyways, and discovering all these little hidden items and collectibles and stuff like that. I love, just because that's the best and easiest way to get in and kind of immerse yourself in that feeling of being Spider-Man swinging through the city. That's always been my favorite thing, like from the original ones that they made about, based on the Sam Raimi stuff. I think one of my favorites up until PS4 Spider-Man was Ultimate Spider-Man. I think that one had some really strong mechanics to it, and it was also just overall aesthetically a lot of fun. And I like what we're seeing. I really can't wait to get into this and see the partnership between Miles and Peter, and also see how the symbiote affects Peter, because we've got a glimpse of it in the last one with they're chasing down Lizard. The symbiote's affecting Peter's personality, making him more like tunnel visioned, violent. He slipped out that Wii very, very subtly. So I'm excited for all this, man. I'm really looking forward to it. Plus Kraven, man. Kraven. That's going to be great. Anyway, guys, what do you think of the trailer? What are your thoughts? How do you think the order of events are going to go? Let me know
Sound out the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Make sure to stick around because we will be playing this here on the channel. If you enjoyed the reaction, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. And before we go, I want to shout out our channel legends. Manny Share, Ryan, Karen, Yuri, Coruscant, Margaret Grace, Melito, Robert Hunguyanu, Jeffrey Hale, M. Sephiroth, Jake Cantrell, and Eric Official. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. But that's it for this video, guys. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.